Welcome into my kitchen, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite dishes to cook. Yes, believe it or not, I do cook, and you know, when Sabrin's away, sometimes I have to fire up the stove and make something for myself. So this is one of my favorite things to make. It's what I think is the easiest dish there is. I've eaten this in the field when I was in the Marine Corps. I've had this when I'm in other countries, and it's something easy, it's quick, and so why don't you come along with me as we make this dish and I show you exactly how to do it my way. Okay, so first and foremost you need the ingredients, and this is going to be a very simple ingredient list because really you only have one ingredient, and that's your ramen noodles. So I'm going to show you the exact way on how I do it, maybe some little tricks to exactly how to make the best ramen noodles, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed at the outcome. So let's get the stove fired up. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a pot, and you're going to want to fill it with cold water. Make sure the water is cold. That's the first tip I'm going to give you. Fill the pot up, and you're ready to bring it to the stove. Alright, once you got that pot filled up, bring it to the stove. And remember, always handles in for safety. And then you're going to want to fire that grill up and get that pot a-cooking. Now I have a gas grill or gas stove, but electric or over a campfire is going to be the same. And you're going to want to bring that water to a boil. And I always put one packet of flavoring in the mix while it's on the stove. And I'm going to save the other mix for when we drain out or prepare the noodles. So you're going to let this cook for about 4 or 5 minutes. Now again, I'm showing you what I believe is the best way to cook ramen noodles. Now I have a couple of packages in there, and that's what I prepare for myself. Now once you get that to a rolling boil, then I'm also going to insert 1 egg into the pot. And again, this is to add flavor. And you're going to mix that up. Again, you got to have the water to a boil. And you're going to let that sit there and just boil away. Alright, once that comes to a full boil, and basically is al dente, you're going to remove it from the heat. Alright, now again, once it comes off of the stove, you want to quickly get it over to the sink. You're going to have your colander already set up in the sink. You're not going to want to run any water all over these noodles. You're also going to have your bowl prepared and ready to dump the contents in. So again, just off of the stove, we're going to drain this so I can see my noodles fall in, and when it gets to about halfway of the noodle with some of the broth being left in there, I'm going to dump in my noodles, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to empty the colander into my bowl. So you should have a nice broth in the bowl along with your noodles. Once you have your bowl of noodles ready and prepared, you're going to then open up your last seasoning packet and add that to your noodle topping. Now that has to be done, and all of this is done when the noodle is still hot, okay? The final thing that I like to do is just with some off-the-shelf soy sauce, is I'm going to top that with just a little bit of soy sauce around the edge. Now that's to taste, so you don't have to be exact with that. That's basically to your preference or to your liking is how you're going to add the soy sauce. So bon appetit. Alright, well, I've taken you through my recipe. I've kind of shown you how to prepare what I think is a very basic meal, but as I said, it's one that I've done in the field, in Saudi Arabia, Africa, when I was in the Marine Corps. This is a food that will sustain you. Health-wise, I don't know if it's the best, but you can add grilled chicken to this, you can add vegetables to it, you can add a lot. Today is what I showed you is just how I prepare the noodle. I want to make sure that you were doing it properly. You're boiling it, the water first. Again, that was cold water. You're adding your seasoning to that boiling water. Then we put the noodles in. We're chopping those noodles up into little squares. Keeping that noodle consistency together. You don't want to break that down into a fine powder when you're entering it from just the noodle, the hard noodle case. You bring that to a rolling boil. You've added your egg for a little protein, and it just binds everything up on that noodle. Then you use your colander to drain it off and to make sure that you're leaving about half of the broth in there. Half of the broth that you've cooked that noodle in. You put that into your bowl. You then go back and you top that off with the rest of your noodles that you drained out of your colander. You're going to add your seasoning to the top. And then, like I said, for taste, we come in and we just add our soy sauce just for the taste of it. It does add some salt to the noodle, but again, this is a food that is a very sustained food. It goes with a lot. You could add a meat to this, but I hope this video showed you a little bit about how to prepare the noodle. Ramen has been around. It's a universal food. It's one of my favorites. So I started this video just for kind of a training purpose to test out some of the equipment that I had here, but hopefully you saw some value in this video, and I'm going to be making more videos and informational type stuff to kind of help you guys. All right, thank you very much. I love you. Press that subscribe button, please, if you saw any value out of this video. And give me a thumbs up, give me a like, please, and we'll see you next time, guys. See ya.